Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you how you can be able to maximize your Doordash earnings. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So for the first point that I do have down, I say to position yourself near restaurants. Now you may be thinking, isn't that self-explanatory? Of course it is, but a lot of times some of the most simple things are some of the most overlooked things. So we do have to make that a point. When I mention with being around restaurants, it has to be a high volume amount of restaurants. The more restaurants, then the more opportunities. The fewer restaurants, then the fewer opportunities to be able to get an order. So before every shift, you need to be sure to be able to position yourself near these restaurants so you can have a higher chance of being able to not only get orders, but be able to get them more consistently. So for the second point that I have down, I said to focus on the $2 per mile rule, or to be able to do average orders if they're reasonable. Now, the $2 per mile rule, I'm sure you've heard it from other Doordashers if you've watched any of their content, and I also agree with that. If you're able to do this, then it pretty much helps you to be able to stay ahead of schedule. And then as far as with the average orders that are reasonable, this would be like your $7 for 5.5 miles, your $6 for 5 miles, that type of thing. And when it comes to this, it really depends on the layout of the area. So pretty much if it's leading towards like other restaurant opportunities and that type of thing, or it's leading to an area where you were intending on going in the first place, then it makes for a really good opportunity to keep the money rolling. And then as far as with the third point that I have on here, I say that the time of day matters, especially if you aren't a platinum status or a gold status driver. Now, the time of day, that could pretty much go for any status, but especially if you're somebody who's not necessarily for platinum, or you don't feel that it matters, and it really does depend on the marketplace. I would highly suggest being able to be sure that you go at the best times. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly are the best times to be able to do this? You have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pretty self-explanatory, but getting down to the more specifics of the time frames, again, it could depend on your marketplace, but from what I've noticed, it would either be anytime from like 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. for breakfast. I would say like 11 to 11 or 11:30 for lunch times, and then for dinner times anywhere from like 4:30 to 5 all the way to 8 or 8:30. I'll say those times specifically have worked out the best consistently. Of course, if you're somebody who likes to be able to do dashes all at once, if you do full time, absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would say at this point, it applies especially more so to part-time dashers who are looking to expand the earnings while having the shortest time possible. Also, within the third point, when it comes to the breakfast time, I would say if you're somebody who is interested in getting platinum or just increasing your acceptance rate, then this would be the perfect opportunity to be able to do earn by time offers. Because for one, if you're doing breakfast, it's not necessarily as consistent compared to lunch and dinner times, so it can help you to get more consistent orders. And then on top of that, because it's during the morning, it gives you more incentive to complete those earn by time orders, because you have more motivation, your day is just getting started, and you're pretty much just able to get the ball rolling, and it really helps. Of course, the other aspect that you can consider is you could do it at any time that you want when you do go out, and pretty much just focus on that until you just reach the acceptance rate percentage that you want. So that's something to consider if you're ever in that boat and are interested in the higher statuses or increasing your acceptance rate. So to my next point, number 4, this will be that platinum status and pro shopper can matter depending on your marketplace. Now again, kind of like what I was mentioning earlier before, you have some people that will be for it and say that it benefits them greatly, and then on the flip side you have people that will say, oh, platinum status doesn't matter and pro shopper doesn't matter and this, that, and the third. And to this I say it all really just depends on your marketplace. With not having platinum status, I feel that it ultimately works better when you're in a marketplace that has a higher population or you're in a major city, because even if you had a lot of dashers within that area, the thing about it is that you have so much more people that there'll just be way more orders out there for people to be able to sell, whether they're platinum or not. So that is something to consider. And then from what I've seen is that, you know, it seems that platinum status, that it does have its benefits. Now, as far as a pro shopper, personally for me, I haven't been a pro shopper yet, but hearing other people's experiences with it, overall it seems like pro shopper is legit, especially if you're more focused on being able to get the best of the best potential orders on the app. So it's something to definitely consider. The other point I want to make with platinum status is that just because you get platinum, it doesn't mean that the bad orders will be eliminated. It really just, the status itself gives you the highest priority, which means however the orders are going during the day, say if there's multiple just bad orders going, there's not really any good orders out. Well, if you're a platinum status driver and you're around other Doordashers but they don't have a higher status, the thing is that platinum status driver will end up still getting one of the bad orders that's out there. They get it first, but the reason why they get it first is because they're high priority. So, you know, that can be a bummer depending on how you look at it. But then on the flip side, if there is a good order out there and you have the same scenario where like you're the only platinum status driver, but then you have other DoorDash drivers around you but they don't have as high of a status, then a lot of times you end up getting that best order that's out there. That's something that I've noticed. And then on top of that, I would say the best benefit of platinum status when I've had it is that you get more consistently solid orders. Kind of like what I was mentioning before with average orders, being able to accept those from time to time, everything like that. Like in general, you'll just start to see better overall orders more consistently. It's not to say that you can't see good orders if you don't have platinum status. It's just that the volume and consistency of those orders may not be as high compared to platinum status. But then again, it all depends on your marketplace. But from what I've noticed, you definitely get way more consistently good and solid orders when you're a platinum status driver. If you are interested in becoming platinum status, whether you're a new DoorDasher or you've been doing it for a while, I would highly suggest to treat acceptance rates as an investment. So pretty much what I mean by that is you want to have a target goal for a percentage you want to reach. And then once you reach that percentage, then you could be able to be pickier with the orders. And then that way you not only have more freedom to be able to get more of the orders that you want, but then you also don't have to waste as much time on orders that you don't want because you're worried about your acceptance rate. That's why I would highly suggest for anybody, especially if they're starting out, to try to keep the acceptance rate up as much as you can. Now, if there's upside down orders, that type of thing, so like if you have, for example, $5 order going 7 miles, stuff like that, you don't really want to accept those. You don't want to accept those, right? But of course, if you see orders that are reasonable to take, they aren't too far or anything like that, if you're interested in getting platinum status or having a higher AR, then I would highly recommend that. It just makes things significantly easier down the road to where you can have more freedom and choice of the orders that you get. Last but not least, my final point is to work in a flow. Now, you may be wondering, what do I mean by that exactly? What I basically mean is you get an order, you accept an order, you drop it off, but the place that you drop it off is near another restaurant cluster. So then by that time you drop off that order, either immediately or a couple minutes later, you end up getting pinged for another order, and it's a solid order. And you take that order, and then when you drop that off, let's say if it's taking you to another restaurant cluster or towards another restaurant cluster, you drop that order off, then the moment you drop it off, you get pinged for another order. So basically the gist of working in a flow is being able to receive orders and wherever they're dropped off, that those drop-off areas are near other restaurants. Because really the key to being able to have a higher hourly rate is to keep yourself moving. And especially the experienced Doordashers out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. But pretty much you can be in a groove, you can be in a flow, but then the time that your hourly rate drops is when you stop getting orders or things slow down and that type of thing. So the more that you can prevent yourself from not being in a flow, so like the more you can stay within a flow of being able to move to one place or to stay within near the same places, which goes back to the point of $2 per mile orders, because the reason why they're so good is just because they a lot of times keep you around the same restaurant cluster. But yeah, pretty much if you work in a flow, then you'll end up being good to go with being able to increase your hourly ratings. Out of all the points that I've mentioned, I would say the two biggest ones that have I'll say three. The three biggest ones that have an impact on you maximizing your earnings are working in a flow, trying to focus on like $2 per mile or anything, relatively close to that if it's a good order, and then having platinum status if your marketplace calls for it. Yeah, guys, that's all that I pretty much have for you guys today. If you all enjoyed this content, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, go out there, have fun, and make some money.